like my dad said, for those of you that don't know, I had prepared a speech to give at graduation tomorrow. As the valedictorian, I was given that opportunity. But for reasons not needing to be said at the moment, that opportunity was taken away from me. But that left me with a perfectly well-written speech, and it left me with nowhere to say it. Which brings me to today. I invited my closest personal friends, my family, and everybody I like being around, and I decided that there isn't a better place to give it than somewhere where the administration can't yell at me. So, that being said, I'd like to give for everybody here the speech that never really got to be. Two little mice fell into a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned, but the second mouse, he swam and he swam, and he pumped his little legs so hard that eventually he churned that cream into butter. And he was able to crawl his way to freedom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today, before my friends, my family, my classmates, my graduating class of 2009, finally coming to the realization that we have been the epitome of that second mouse. That every senior in here has pumped their legs so hard and churned their cream and created butter. And now we are crawling on our hands and knees begging for the freedom that we have so rightfully earned during our last 13 years of school. 13 years seems like a ridiculously long time to be churning butter. But in a large stroke of life, it is a mere fraction of the things that are going to come. And although it is only a fraction of the lives that we are going to live, for every single senior in this room, and a couple other guys, it's been the most monumental fraction that we're ever going to encounter. I've seen each and every single one of my schoolmates grow and mature from practical infantry to today, to full-blown adultery. And I look out at your smiling faces today, and I realize that every single one of you has your own story to tell. Every person in you has their own hilarious anecdotes, and their own outrageous events, and their own heart-touching lives that have led them to become the people that they are today. So to ask me to stand up here and recount the last 13 years that we've spent together and sum them up in 5 minutes is crazy. It's impossible. But bear with me while I give it a try. For you today, I'm going to give you the complete history of the graduating class of 2009, abridged. Kindergarten. You're 5 years old. You're scared. It's the first time away from your parents for a long period of time every day. You make your first friend by realizing that you both use the same color crayon to scribble on the carpet with. First grade. You finally sit in desks. It's a step up from sitting in rows on the floor, and maybe you got your first crush. Was it the cute girl with the glasses and the pigtails, or was it the one boy in the class that knew how to use a tissue and not his sleeve? He could be the one. Second grade. Now, I talked to just about every senior I could find, and even a couple other kids, and not a single person remembered any detail from second grade. Not one. So we're just going to assume it didn't even happen. Third grade. You had your first sleepover. Your parents were worried, but you didn't care. You were way too busy staying up having a pillow fight, or playing Pokemon cards, or Truth or Dare, or Madden 99 until 4 a.m. Fourth grade. We finally realized what homework was, and realized that it sucks. Fifth grade, all the native Winneconne students were finally introduced to the weird kids that came over from Winchester. But then we grew to love you. A little. Sixth grade, bigger school, scared once again. What in the heck was a class schedule? We're all a little ticked off that the number of recesses was reduced from 3 to 1. Can they even do that? Seventh grade, we can finally play school-sponsored sports, and we finally acknowledge personal hygiene. A little. Girls like the boys, and the boys don't really care. The talk of the swing sets is who's dating who. Did it really matter? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Eighth grade. All the girls passed around whole entire notebooks instead of just sweetly little folded notes. The guys pretended like we cared and wanted to read it, but we really didn't. And we all think we're tough stuff. We're kings of the world. But we were big fish in a little pond, and then suddenly we found ourselves to be minnows in the ocean. Freshman year. Fear couldn't really even describe it. We used to be tall, but suddenly we found ourselves staring at the abdomen of a 6-foot-tall senior with muscles. We used to talk, but now even the most talkative of us resorted to little more than 4 or 5 words in a day. Was I scared? You can bet your ass I was scared. Sophomore year. We're not the punks of the school anymore, but we're still underclassmen and got no respect. But hey, at least we all got our licenses and we got our first taste of freedom and maybe even a little bit of rebellion. Junior year, China Bowl 19-0, baby. The ACTs gave us a couple ulcers and figuring out what to do with our lives was a complete and utter nightmare, but we all had a blast at prom. English portfolios? Enough said. Senior year, China Bowl stays home. Latin flag, winningest football team in 4 years. Soccer, not so much. This was us at regionals for volleyball. Really? Best day ever. Girls, we love you. Pep rallies, went 4 whole years without winning a single one. Boys basketball, ref shirts, fur vest, a large green tie with a funny hat, and a lot of really colorful pants. My God, who taught us how to dress? Girls basketball, reppin' at Shar. Winterfest, still no spirit competition winner, but we won the tug of war, and we all know that's really all that matters. Girls soccer had a great run, but in the end lost to Xavier. Baseball had its first winning season in 4 years and went farther in the playoffs than it has in 8. Softball played absolutely phenomenal all year, but got upset in the sectional championship. We're all dang proud of you. And the events of April 27th spurred a sense of rebellion and anger never before seen at WHS. We all learned that apparently there's certain letters that can't be put up on the wall in a certain order. Was it a lesson well learned, or was it just a lesson that got us a little more riled up? It's been said that no other grade has been quite this anxious to graduate. I'm actually a little proud of that. One word to describe it, extreme. Our last day of school, it was a little rowdy, kind of an understatement, but it was a blast no matter what. I think everybody that was at rehearsal read my shirt and read the truth behind it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Tomorrow's graduation Sunday. We're all going to be wearing comfy silk robes and a really awkward hat. And all too soon we're going to be handed our diploma and we're going to be heading out into life. Now when I go through those last 13 years so quickly, it becomes astonishing how fast life really has moved. And look at this moment. Look at where you are today. Look at where you're going to be tomorrow. You are about to be thrust out into the vicious world, and all you have are your experiences to get you through it. You have to harness those experiences. You have to harness the good energy that is radiating off of them, but try to block out the bad. Remember that. Harness energy, block bad. It's like a carousel. Life goes up and down, but around. Circle, circular. Feeling the flow, going with it. Just remember that your future is yours to either make it or break it. The choices you make in the next couple of years are going to follow you for the rest of your life. So stay on the ball. Be the ball. See your future. Be your future. Now, the reason I gave my speech today... The reason I gave my speech today isn't to sit here and reminisce about all the good times we've had in the last 13 years. It was about getting the chance to address the classmates that I've grown to love and respect in the last 13 years of my life. And get a chance to address the parents that have had so much influence on every single one of our lives and are the reason that we are who we are. So I just want to take this time right now to thank the parents. Thank everybody here, especially my classmates, for being my real family, no offense, for the last 13 years of my life. I want to wish every single one of you good luck, but I'm not going to because I know you're not going to need it. Because every person here has the potential to be everything that they want to be in their lives. It's just about making the right choices. So make it a great life or not, guys. The choice really is yours.